You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans, America's largest mortgage lender. Spring will be here soon, so if buying a new home is on your to-do list, right now is the time to call Quicken Loans. Learn about which mortgage options make sense for you and get a jump on your competition. With our exclusive Rate Shield approval, the low rate you lock today is protected for up to 90 days while you shop for your new home. With a Rate Shield approval, if rates go up, your low rate stays locked. But if rates go down, you get that new, even lower rate. Either way, you win. Talk to us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com to take advantage. Here's another great reason to work with us. For a record 9 years in a row, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. Again, to lock in today's low mortgage interest rate and get the security of our exclusive Rate Shield approval, call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com. Rate Shield approval only valid on certain 30-year fixed-rate loans. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. License in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Hi, welcome to the Subway ad for the new Sesame Ginger Glazed Chicken Signature Wrap. How would you like it?
I'll take a...
Sports announcer at home?
Yeah, how'd you...
We just know.
My wife picks up the new Signature Wrap. It's got double the rotisserie-style chicken mixed with a sesame ginger glaze. She appears annoyed at me, but she shrugs it off. Those sweet and savory flavors are calling her name. She lifts the wrap and... she takes the bite! Incredible! And now she's closing the door on my... Subway, make it what you want.
Limited time only at participating restaurants. Double meat basement, average 6-inch sub.
I'm little teapot, short and stout.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
No, Dad, like this. When I get all steamed up, then I shout, tip me over and pour me out.
This is WWE superstar Roman Reigns. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Visit fatherhood.gov, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
Thoughts of suicide may feel impossible to overcome, but with help and support, you can find hope and meaning. Call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK to speak to a counselor, or visit suicidepreventionlifeline.org. It's free, it's confidential, it's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And even if it feels like it, you're not alone.
My son was in the Army back during Desert.
Happy New Year. Welcome to the Red Whine, our very first show of 2020.
Can you believe it?
No, I know. Isn't it weird to say it's 2020? I don't know. It's so cool. Tonight.
Well, hopefully it'll be the roaring 20s, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's 2020 and I'm 20 again.
There you go.
Sure. So tonight, this is very exciting. We have Stacey Lennox.
Hello.
Hello, and we have Jen.
Hello.
You guys, I'm not sure, Jen. Did you want people to know your last name on here?
Well, just do Homestead. All
okay.
Good.
Yeah, there you go. So we have Jen and, of course, Lou.
Hello. Of course. And of course, Lou.
Of course, Lou and Jody. We're always here.
She's here every week, and it's never very exciting.
Oh,
yeah, well, without you, Lou.
That's right, because I'm pushing the buttons.
World's greatest producer.
Cha-ching.
No offense, Rick. No offense,
yeah,
Bob.
I was gonna say. Except for Rick.
Right, the second best.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
So
they're
tonight.
both so great, though.
Oh, they are. They are. They're absolutely there. We have the best. I have to say, KLRN. Do we have the best people or what? I mean, we really have fun. We have a fun crew.
Yeah.
Oh, we have the best crew. I mean, seriously, the way in which all our KLRN people, first of all, smart, hilarious, like totally on board with just calling out everything and getting on top of stuff and bringing in. We've got different people for everything. We've got people that do stats. We've got people that bring like the latest stories and dissect them. And we've got, people that just like gloss over it all and add humor, and they bring like they look at entertainment and they look at, the culture as a wide view. But also, the thing that people don't know is that the KLRN crew is so incredible to each other.
Oh, yes.
And it's such a good family. Everyone's so supportive, there for everybody. And just really, just really brings out the best in everyone else and like tries to, just be as amazing as possible to any of our crew and extended crew by that, like any of our friends of friends or family or whatever, like
our chat family.
So great.
Our chat, our chat family.
Terrible, terrible rumor out there, you guys.
What?
About 50% of KLRN will be at CPAC this year.
I know, and I'm so bummed because I am not going to be able to go because it's the same weekend as a Vegas weekend.
Mm-hmm. Which you have an amazing opportunity for, though. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, I know. But it'll be. I don't know. I'm just going to be listening to you guys the whole time I'm laying around a pool.
But I have to say, I have to say before we go too much further that was very well said, Jen, and I could not agree with you more.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, like I think that, when there comes to organizations like ours or like, websites and whatever, I think that people don't always, of course they don't because they can't be privy to it, but like behind the scenes stuff. And one of the best behind the scenes thing that the KLRN family has given me is just this unwavering support and solid friendship. And it's just amazing people. And I think that like that gets lost in the mix of the political talk and everything else. And so I just want to make sure we highlight that because it really is just such a great crew.
Absolutely a wonderful thing for to be said. Thank you for saying it. Couldn't agree more. Coming in, this is like our first live show coming into 2020. And I don't think you could have. I don't think anybody could have opened it any better than that, Jen. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, so we have a very exciting show tonight. Stacy, our writer on staff here,
our staff writer.
She, in fact, you had an amazing 2019 year for what you wrote. So you should be number one best blog news article contributor.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
It's only been about a month since I did my last one, so I got to get back to that, I guess.
Yeah, but you're on vacation, so hey.
Yeah.
Vacation.
It's
I had
the holidays.
Flu. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know, you guys. Poor Stacy had the flu. So, oh my God.
Did I have the flu? I'm telling you guys, if you get it, go to the doctor, get your Tamiflu.
Yeah, it's horrible this year. It's horrible. So, speaking of the flu, before we go into all that, did you guys see that they're going to force vaccinations in Seattle? And well, I guess they can't force it, but if you're going to go back to school, once they open up school in January, you have to have the flu shot. You have to have your vaccinations. Yeah, Google it. It was on Fox News yesterday. And I have a friend who refuses to have her child vaccinated. And I just wonder, like, what'll go down with that?
Yeah,
Seattle's pretty granola.
Well, yeah, but it's also the People's Republic of Seattle, so.
when they decide you're going to do something, you better do it. It's all for your own good.
Right.
The thing is that I'm actually okay with this. I don't want it to be something that is government mandated for everyone, any citizen. But if you are choosing, if your kids go to public school, or if they go even to a private school, and they're having this issue, and one of their prerequisites is you have to get vaccinated for this certain thing.
Right.
I'm okay with that because you still have choice.
Yeah,
right? Like you don't have to go to that school. You don't have to, and I understand that there are people where this comes from a little bit of a privileged circumstance where like some people don't really have a choice as far as like, because they have to work and they can't afford private schools. So of course they have to send their kids to public school. I get that. But I also think it is well within a school district's rights or a city's rights to say, in a public space, this is what we're requiring if you're going to take advantage of our services.
Right.
And so I think, I really don't have a problem with it, except for the fact that part of the reason there is a problem is because people have been so daft in dealing with this in the first place.
Right. They have a problem with measles, I believe it was. And there was just here in Denver, we just had a scare at our airport because many people were exposed to measles. So, so anyway, my kids are all vaccinated, so I'm good.
Yeah, me too.
The last time I got the flu shot was 20 years ago, and that was the last time I had the flu.
Wow. Yeah, I know.
That's funny.
Wow.
The last time I got a flu shot was the last year I got a flu shot was the last year that I had the flu as well.
Yeah, it was in the very early days of the flu shot, and I was working with I was working with the elderly, so I got it to protect the elderly from me giving them the flu, right? And then I got the flu anyway because they'd gotten the complete forecast wrong for which area the country was going to be hit with.
Here's a really, really funny story. I never had the flu as much as I did when I worked for the company that makes most of the flu shots that are given in this country. Yeah, exactly.
It was a conspiracy, Lou.
It was like in the air conditioned ducts or something. I have no idea.
You didn't realize you guys were test subjects.
Well, clearly.
It's funny because the only 2 times in the last 15 years I have gotten the flu were the 2 years I didn't inoculate. So there's always anecdotes because it's like the 2 years I did bypass the flu shot, just forgot about it, got busy, whatever, are the 2 years I got the flu. And the years that I did get the shot were the years I didn't get the flu.
Yeah, I mean,
And you guys may or may not remember this, but this coming up weekend is the anniversary of my friend who died last year.
Yeah.
And so I say get your flu shot. Yeah. So,
I don't have anything
against every single strand.
Right. Yeah.
But they can kind of very decently predict the ones that are going to be the big ones. And they put that together to help.
Yeah. I have nothing against the flu shot whatsoever. My father's 82 years old. I'm very glad that he gets his every year.
Right.
It makes me very happy. But I do think it's really funny.
Yeah, just as big for elderly and
in Texas. It is.
Yeah. Especially in Texas. We've had a resurgence of the whooping cough like nobody's business. And part of it is because there are so many people turning down that vaccine. Yeah. And it's outrageous. Like
it's coming over the border too,
but it is, but there's also areas in which there's enough numbers of people not allowing their kids to have what they consider, inessential vaccines, like the whooping cough vaccine, like DTaP, Tdap. And they are the ones where there's not the herd immunity because it's dipping too low for that. So they're having resurgences of these things. And this started back up, my son was born in 2013 and it was a huge thing then. And it's continued over the last 6 years. It's continued to be a really big problem. And it's because people are considering it a non-essential. And so it just continues to grow in the numbers of people that are not vaccinated, which means there's not the herd immunity, which means that more people are going to be susceptible to it. So especially for, and people in their, teens to even their 50s or 60s are not going to feel the brunt of this. It's going to be the elderly and it's going to be the newborns.
Right.
And aren't they some of the most
or
people that we should protect the most?
Yeah, or possibly people who work for that unnamed pharmaceutical company.
Well, that.
See, you would have to sign some sort of, waiver if they were really going to tell you they wanted you to be a test subject.
Right.
This way, it was all just,
right. Well, I my theory was always that it was just like eking out of the labs, or the campus that I worked on is where they had test animals on that campus. Right. And so I was like, okay, it's just kind of like sneaking out or getting carried out on people's shoes or something like that. But I mean, like, you've never seen so many sick people in your life. Like, we were always sick. But at any rate.
Well, we have a very exciting evening ahead of us because Stacy, like I said, our resident writer, has a best of list. And she's going
Which is going to be so good.
I know, they're very funny. They're so accurate, but they're very funny. So she is going to start. She's going to announce each one, and then we'll all laugh hysterically after.
Okay, should I just give them to you in the order I sent them to you, ladies?
Yeah, let's start with whatever, yeah.
Okay, our first award for 2019, looking backwards, is Potato of the Year. Some people call him Tater, and it is, of course, Brian Stelter. And every single one of you should find someone that loves you and follows your moves the way that this dude follows everybody on Fox News. And Potato, or Tater, as we like to call him, I believe he was christened that by Kurt Schlichter, so thank you, Kurt, ended the year with the lowest number of viewers on any cable news station at 85,000. So apparently his obsession is not 85,000.
We might pass him on the red wine here.
Yeah, I know. We could pass him. If you guys send this to a couple dozen friends apiece, we're going to rival him. But honorable mention does go to Oliver Darcy, and we will call him the Tater Tot of 2019 because he is certainly following in his idol Brian Stelter's steps.
Oh, geez.
That is hilarious.
I love the Tater Tot. That's amazing.
Tater Tot.
Have you ever seen Oliver's timeline after Brian starts, putting up a Chiron from Fox or saying, look what this person said, and then Oliver's just running right behind him? I'm like, oh my God, you guys are pathetic.
Do you think Tater pays him?
Stay tuned in 2019, guys, because Brian is writing a book all about Fox.
Oh my God, is he really?
And Trump. Yes, he is. So, yes, he's very excited about that. It's been going out.
Yeah, he announced that. He announced that with such a chest pounding, and it's also he's like, nobody's paying attention to this, and we're like, it's everything you talk. I think Orty was the one that said something like, it's literally all you talk about.
Who's the other guy from?
And that movie about Fox News, Bombshell, pretty much tanked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this is how much people are interested in what goes on at Fox News.
Well, yeah, it's a collective eye roll.
Fox News' numbers.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Well, it's a collective eye roll, and who's that? I can't remember if it was Acosta. I think maybe it was Acosta that wrote a book, and he sold about as many books as Stelter has viewers. Yeah, about 85,000. Right. Yeah.
I looked it up. Acosta released his book about a month after Mark Levin released Unfreedom of the Press. Mark Levin was still number 3 or 4, and Acosta wasn't even on Amazon's top 100.
No, somebody, and who was it Greg Jarrett that released his book the same day. No,
I got his book.
Yeah, and like shot straight to number one, and Acosta was like had sold a couple thousand or something.
And remember, a lot of those are family.
Right. The best one was Jordan Peterson, whose book had been out for over a year. That point was still at 67.
Oh my God, these guys at dinner parties.
Ryan, good for you.
Oh, it's kind of sad. It's like we need some sort of a AA group for people with Trump derangement syndrome.
No kidding.
Yeah, okay, so go on to your next one, Stace.
Okay, the next one we'd like to award is 2019's most effective Trump 2020 re-election spokespeople. And that award goes to Nana Pelosi and the squad. Nana let herself be pushed so far left by these four nimrods that she actually decided to go ahead with impeachment. And it is the only impeachment in American history that has not a crime listed in it. And also is now being held by Nancy Pelosi because President Trump is clearly an existential threat to the country, but she won't let him be tried in the Senate.
Yeah, it's really ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think they really thought this was going to bump up their poll numbers, and they were so...
Oh my God, the fact that Obama and Trump tied for Men of the Year.
I know, right?
Yeah, that was wonderful. That right there was wonderful.
God.
But the problem...
Do you think Pelosi, what do you think she did when she saw that?
Yeah, we need Orti's disclaimer for me to say what Nana actually probably did when she saw that. But you know what their problem... I know what their problem is. The problem is that they pay attention to Twitter.
Yeah.
And they actually think that it's representative of how people feel in the country. So they think that, I have however many million followers that I have, right? So, I have 1 million followers. So there must be 100 million people in the country that want Trump impeached.
Right.
Nope. Sorry. You actually have 100,000 followers with 10 socks each.
Yeah, I agree. And
I've actually seen the statistic that 8% of people in the U.S. are on Twitter, and of those 8%, 10% tweet regularly.
Right, and
So
that's not.
I mean, they're just listening to the blue check Twitterati and the SJWs and thinking that that's real life, and it's just.
But that 10% of 8% is not even all political. So it's like 0.01% of the country is following you on Twitter, AOC, and the rest of them are either in some other country or they're all those other people's socks.
You want to know the best thing is that last night I was out to dinner with my friend's very, very, very liberal husband. She and I were out to dinner, and he's so, radical. He's a Bernie. He doesn't like Bernie, but he is Bernie, right? So anyway, we are out to dinner, and he's talking about how Joe Biden is going to get the nomination. We burst out laughing and say, well, Bernie's poll numbers are probably higher than Biden's now. And he's like, are you kidding? Are you kidding me right now? And then we said how he was talking about maybe AOC being his VP. And he goes, what? He's like, that's not my party. Yes, it is, dude.
Yeah, it is.
That's your party.
That's your party.
Yes, it is.
It's your party, and you can cry if you want to, because I would.
Yes. So,
yeah.
I love that. Actually, that works so well for political parties. It's your party, and you can cry if you want to, but it doesn't mean you're wrong.
You may use it all you want, Jen. Take it and run with it. We're all family here.
Awesome. Okay, next. Stacy.
All right, and 2019's most gafftastic moment goes to none other than former Vice President Joe Biden. And you may think I'm talking about corn pop, or you might think I'm talking about kids tugging on his leg hair.
Oh, God.
What? I'm actually talking about the last debate where he volunteered to put hundreds of thousands of energy workers out of work for his green policy.
And told them to learn to code.
And then followed it up with saying he would jail energy company executives.
Yeah. Why aren't they in jail?
Do you think you can read What Happened by Hillary Clinton? Because she devoted an entire chapter to her coal comment and how stupid it was.
I don't think he's ever been questioned. I think his whole life he's been able to be a complete dumbass, and everybody just keeps electing him. I don't think he's ever had anybody question him.
Oh my God.
He has had to.
Goodbye, Pennsylvania. Goodbye, Ohio. Goodbye, Texas. Goodbye, Wisconsin.
Goodbye, West Virginia.
Working class white man.
Let's not forget, this is the man that had to drop out of a political a campaign for president in the past because of plagiarism and some other dumb something that he did that I can't remember. I mean, at this point, Joe Biden has done so many stupid things, it's impossible to keep track of them.
Oh, yeah, but that one about, the moderator actually said, would you do this given thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people would lose jobs? Oh, sure. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, you're writing Trump's campaign commercials for him.
Yes, they absolutely
It was
are.
a beautiful moment.
Yeah,
Beautiful moment.
it was a beautiful moment, and it was extremely funny. And Jen said and told them to learn to code because take it from me, learning to code is extremely easy. Just sit down at your computer and start hammering away, and you'll be coding in no time.
I forgot to learn to code.
Yeah,
oh my God.
there's nothing to it.
But that's the point. It's like, okay, so everybody, all these people we know got suspended or limited in their accounts on Twitter for telling journalists to learn to code. But Joe Biden does it and tells the coal miners to learn to code. And then all of a sudden, all these journalists are so on board with it. And they're like, yeah, exactly. For renewable energy, for different things, learn to code, motherfucker. Sorry, did we get the disclaimer?
Our first F word of 2020.
I don't know if I can go back and retroactively mark this explicit, but I'll
roll
see.
through it quite quickly.
He literally said, if you can go down a 3,000-foot elevator, you can learn to code. If you can shovel coal into a furnace, you can learn to code.
Which, by the way,
literally
none of these
shoveling
are
shit
equivalent.
into a fire is exactly like JavaScript. Exactly.
Yeah. No,
right.
Like, any of this is even remotely comparable, but okay.
Right. So I'm
sorry, kid. I just have to bring up quick, Lou. Did you guys just see his gaffe about riding the train? How he's part of, he's just like a regular guy because he rides the train, and then he's riding the train in first class. Like he's talking about his experience, and it's like, the rest of us don't get to. Go to the restaurant or
yeah, we don't get to do all that.
Right.
We're in the back sitting in the small booth, So.
Well, I mean, supposedly the fact that Hunter Biden rode trains was why he got nominated to the Board of Democrats.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's the best.
Insane.
Yeah. So I should be on the board at Delta because I've flown Delta.
Yeah, sure.
Put me on the board, Delta.
Hey.
Only Joe Biden.
I have Sky Miles.
I know, really. Only Joe Biden could piss off every oil rig worker, coal miner, and computer programmer with the same comment. Only Joe Biden could do that. And mathematician.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He truly does win the GAF award. Okay, who's up next? Okay, should we take a break quick, or should we? What do you want to do?
We're at the bottom of the hour. We can take a break since we're done dissing on Biden and come back and do the rest of them.
Okay, sounds great.
All right, we'll be right back. If I can find the right song to play.
Stacy?
Get your man above the red wine. Get up. Get your man above the red wine. I can't get up out of bed with this crazy feeling in my head. I said, get up. Get your man above the red wine. No, get up. Get your man above the red wine. Oh, get up. Get your man above the red wine.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq, Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is, if getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now, 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
Get up, get your man above the red wine. Get up, get your man above the red wine. I can't get up out of bed with this crazy feeling in my head. I said, get up, get your man above the red wine. No, get up. Get your man above the red wine. Oh,
I am.
All right. Go.
And welcome back to our best of list for 2019. And we're going to jump right into it with the best also ran of the year. And you may know him as Ted Cruz's opponent in the 2018 Senate race. You may also know him as the man who had glowing profiles in print magazines with photo shoots by Annie Leibovitz when he first announced his presidential run. By the end, he had no support. He was going to take all of our guns, and he was last seen sitting curled up in a recliner with food all over the ottoman and a full neck beard wearing cargo shorts. So he seems to be doing really well.
Or you may know him like I know him as psychedelic warlord of the cult of the dead cow.
Right. Or as Orty just said, you may also know him as a furry.
Yeah. How proud his family must be.
Oh my God, can you imagine being his wife?
Oh my God! Now
That just
see
sounds
the money.
miserable.
He married money, right? She's the
Lots
money.
of it. Lots of it. Yeah.
Which he was
That's
already
probably
okay.
why he could spill rice all over the ottoman, because they pay someone to clean it up.
Yeah.
But he was already okay because he's the son of a judge, and they were already a family.
Yeah.
Like not I wouldn't say they weren't
poor,
crazy wealthy, but they were
her
affluent.
wife's dad is like a billionaire or something.
But then he married into the big time.
Yeah,
the big time. And
well, he went to Columbia, right?
A lot of us that have known about him for longer than the national media has. Those of us here in Texas were just like, I mean, he's a joke. Even some of my liberal friends, they're like, he's a joke because he's
Don't you remember, like, when he was running against Ted Cruz, there's that YouTube video where they dressed up like the girls?
Yes.
Like that, like
your boyfriend's back or whatever.
PFD then. He was the new hope of the Democrat Party.
But I even have like super liberal friends that actually supported a lot of what he stood for because that's what they do. But they were like, it's a joke. It's a GD joke because he is so the Whitey McWhiterson trying to pretend to cater to the Hispanics and then also like trying to represent larger Texas, which is very obvious he does not. And they were just totally like WTF. Like he's so weird and he's so dumb and he thinks he's playing on everyone. And then of course what happened was the national media goes, he's amazing, even though
like
all
abortion
the locals
Barbie
are going like like all the locals are like big fat dummy, and the national media is like, oh, the best hope of the future, and it just got so out of control. And of course they duped a lot of people in the process, but for the most part, like my really solid liberal friends here in Austin, Texas, the most blue county in a big red sea, were like, what? This guy? Napoleon Dynamite? Okay.
All right. Well, are you guys ready to move on?
Yep.
What's next?
Next is 2019's Pander Bear of the Year, and that's Pander, not Panda. And this one goes to the multimillionaire who hates billionaires and also probably needs to move from the handle Pocahontas back to what she was when she ran in Massachusetts, which was Hiawatha. And it is, of course, Elizabeth Warren. Let's see. In order to identify with those she perceives as her base, she has pretended to be a minority. She's lied about getting fired when she was pregnant. Most recently, she called her father a janitor, which really pissed her brother off, apparently.
That was funny.
She doesn't seem capable of telling the truth, and it's almost always to put herself in a victim class to identify with the regular folk. She lives in a $2 million house in one of the nicest areas of Massachusetts. Guys, she's not. We know
Well, didn't she say her kids went to Public school too?
Oh, that was the other one. Her kids went to public school, and they actually both went to private school. Yeah, that was here in Atlanta. Yep. I mean, she's just incapable of telling the truth if she thinks it's not going to pander to some small subsection of the people she's trying to attract to her campaign.
Yeah. She said she had, when they asked her about her legal career and what she did as a lawyer, well, I had a few cases. Turns out it was 56.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb. She should have just come out and said, I've seen the light. I used to, be a corporate lawyer. Yeah. I used to think this, or I used to think that it was no big deal to take big corporate checks. But I've seen the light, because her constituency would be like, awesome, sure, we believe her.
Yeah, I used to be a pathological liar, but now I see that that's wrong.
And we have the next award, and it is the 2019 Neocon of the Year. And I classify at this point the neocons, the group of people who used to identify with the Republicans because maybe we would go and invade other countries and try to, regime change and do that kind of stuff for a little while, and really didn't have anything else in common with us, and then all lost their freaking minds when Trump was elected. So you might think that I'm talking about one of the people in my honorable mentions, such as Bill Kristol or Max Boot, but I'm not, because Bill Kristol and Max Boot tweet and write really stupid stuff. But the one that decides to sit there and argue back and forth at you and make a genuine jackass of himself is our winner, Tom Nichols.
Ugh.
Like, legitimately, since Trump won, I have seen him put out absolutely no conservative position.
He blocked
like nothing.
me.
And this latest one that he did after this church shooting, calling us a bunch of gun nuts, that's like what Obama said.
That was the worst. No, it was the worst.
What Obama said.
Yeah.
It can't even remotely be defense. Like, no one can defend that as a remotely, not just like conservative, but like a freedom, libertarian, even remotely like law-abiding front. They can't defend it.
It's not even a neocon position.
Well,
no, because I know liberals that defend it. I know liberals that defend
but you're in
it.
Texas.
What? Well, no, but I'm talking about some of my supreme liberals over here that were like completely okay with what happened in the church shooting, and
and
we're like,
it was over in 6 seconds instead of 10
minutes. It's a completely defensible shooting. It was such an effective takedown of a madman. And there is no reason why anyone, left or right, should have to feel like they have to come out against it. There's literally zero logic to it. Like, what should have happened. He was taken down within 6 seconds and done over live saves.
And who does not want Mr. Wilson around if something bad is going down?
Right?
I mean, seriously. We all need one of those dudes around us all the time.
You guys seen the side-by-side pictures of Texas, and it shows him and then shows Beto? Like the difference between the two men in Texas.
I mean, seriously, I have some super, super, super lib friends that are not even trying to go there with this, because that's not. It's not even remotely a defensible position to try to oppose what happened in that church that day, because what happened was lives were saved. I know.
Tell Tom.
I know. Well, he's an idiot and he backed the wrong horse. So, I think he thought he was going to get some pats on the back for it. And what happened was he got a lot of backlash, and then he doubled down and dug his grave deeper, because that's what he does.
I know. Tom needs to go back and learn the first rule.
I mean, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong,
dude. Take the L.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's now closing in on about like 60. I don't know. Let's say 72 feet under.
Yeah, probably.
Every time he tweets something stupid, I just remember when he was so stupid as to tweet out the picture of himself with his big old nose.
Oh, God, that was the best.
So right, I forget about that. Oh, gross. Okay, yeah. Okay, thank you. It's like him and Geraldo. Okay, great. Awesome, guys.
Awesome. All right.
Awesome guys. There is.
Our next award is 2019's Creative Writer of the Year.
I love this.
This gentleman happens to go on Twitter whenever Trump does anything in foreign relations related to the Middle East and writes some completely revisionist history. And he is, of course, Ben Rhodes.
Creative writing is. I burst out laughing when I saw that. When yeah, because I ran.
This stuff? I mean, the last 2 days were just so epic.
Yes.
So epic. Like, really, you don't think it had anything to do with those pallets of cash you sent them?
Well,
yeah,
they
sure
stopped.
Hamstrung them, Ben. You sure did. Oh my God, he's the worst.
Yeah.
He is the worst because he tried to rewrite that Obama had the entire nuclear program shut down over there. Like, what? It's all Trump's fault.
Ben Rhodes, though, I mean, he's just like the quintessential definition of lackey, right? Like he just hook, line, and sinker. He's in.
Yeah,
and then
totally.
anything opposed that, like he calls that, he tells other people they are that without having the ability to see that in himself, which he obviously was just like whatever. I mean, he's still perpetuating the whole no scandal thing, so of course he is just absolutely 100% all in Team Obama and has no ability to self-reflect. None.
I think that he's trying to defend his time there, and I think it's indefensible, so he has to rewrite kind of what happened.
You're probably right. Yeah. Because he has to justify all of it. It is not looking good in hindsight.
Yeah, that's all of them, and I think that this is my theory that like Valerie Jarrett has some super psychic witchcraft abilities, and if any of them say anything negative or admit that they ever did anything wrong, she will strike them down and turn them to toads, and they know it. That's my theory.
She pokes that voodoo doll.
Right, exactly. That is the only thing I can come up with. It does not make any sense. I don't know. Can they really think that
we're a prime example too?
Yeah.
Don't you remember when he talked about how easy it was to manipulate the press corps? They don't know anything. He literally is just one of those elites who thinks everyone is stupid.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes. That's spot on. All right, what's next?
Well, we actually have a Best Actor award for 2019.
Oh, this could be anyone.
Ooh.
Well, I picked Adam Schiff. Because not only did he do a very dramatic reading of a call between President Trump and President Zelensky that never happened, he also actually tried to make us believe his memo about the FISA situation for over a year. He also tried to tell us that he had evidence of collusion between Trump and Russia. I mean, he acted his butt off, and if you watched any of the public hearings in the Intelligence Committee for this impeachment, I mean, come on.
It was laughable. It is laughable.
To be fair, his first choice for a career was screenwriter. That is what he really wanted to be.
Write some incredible stuff.
And he's practicing. He is practicing. When he's no longer in Congress, that's what he wants to do. So he's trying to convince Disney that he can do it.
But he's so flippin' scary looking. He could never be on screen unless he was the major bad guy.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. If you all have not seen Tom Shalhoub's Adam Schiff impression,
it is perfect.
You absolutely have to look it up on YouTube.
But Jody, that is a great point because Nadler, as you know, I call the Penguin.
Yeah.
And Schiff would be a great Joker. They are the Joker and the Penguin.
Yeah,
which makes Trump Batman and Pence Robin.
Oh, gosh.
We need Carpe Donktum to do that.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. All right. Well, now we're kind of moving to the good part of 2019. So the first one is the vindication of the year for last year, and that one goes to Devin Nunes because he was right all along, and Horowitz proved it.
Amen.
That guy took so much crap. They tried to ruin him. They tried to ruin his family. They slandered him. They libeled him. I mean, he went through the worst ever since he wrote that memo, and he was 100% vindicated in every single major point he made by the Horowitz report. So, yay, Devin. And good job to his team, especially Mr. Patel.
Agree. And they got completely
awesome work.
No, and they got so ridiculed and lambasted by our quote unquote, fair media.
Yeah, what's happened to Nunes has been worse than just ridiculed. He's been smeared.
Yeah. and it's been, and I think that it's okay. There were some people that were questioning some stuff, and they were skeptical, and they were actually doing legitimate work in criticizing and questioning. But by and large, it was just a smear campaign.
Yeah, it was a smear
and that was the end of it. Because they just didn't like what he was saying, so they had to make it bad.
Yep, absolutely. Well, I mean, when they say you went to Vienna when you were actually in the Middle East picking up the remains of, fallen service members,
of a U.S. soldier.
That's just beyond.
It's
pathetic. Especially when they're taking the word of an accused felon to report it.
Right.
I mean, come on. But in companionship with Representative Nunes over in the Judiciary Committee, we have the Clown Maker of the Year. And that would be my favorite representative, Doug Collins. He made such a jackass of Jerry Nadler.
It was awesome.
After the Mueller report, that Nancy Pelosi was forced to move the impeachment investigation over to the Intelligence Committee where Schiff took over and made a complete jackass of himself. I mean, come on. I mean, Nadler is so hesitant to speak in that committee now because he knows Collins gets to go next.
I love it.
Nadler is as medicated. Nadler is as medicated as Nana at this point.
And how many times, you guys, did he fall asleep?
Yeah. Well, but in all seriousness, I have to wonder what they did that they have so much anxiety that they need to be that medicated to get through the day.
Right.
We might find out.
Pelosi's press conference when she refused to take questions and she was trying to explain. She had to have been drunk.
Was it the one where she claimed to be a doctor? Or
I'm not a doctor, but
the day after the impeachment vote, where she just couldn't figure out what she was trying to say, and finally told people the day after, the morning after the impeachment vote, I'm not taking any more questions on impeachment. Let's talk about this.
Right, exactly. If you don't want to talk about these other things, I'm not going to talk because I don't want to take. My older sister, who doesn't pay attention to this stuff, texted me and said, is Nancy Pelosi drunk in her press conference? I texted her back and said, Nancy Pelosi is drunk in every press conference.
Right?
Yes.
All right. True. Next, we have the 2019 Clapback of the Year. And y'all may not remember this, but I do because I thought it was so great. Two complete morons over at the New York Times decided to write another Kavanaugh book and try to position it as a bombshell, which wasn't a bombshell, about this woman who didn't remember anything going on, but supposedly something gross happened at a frat party. But the woman can't remember it, but it was reported anyway. So Molly Hemingway, who actually did the definitive book on the Kavanaugh hearings, read their book and said that wasn't the real bombshell. The real bombshell was that Blasey Ford's friend said she was threatened. This was her primary witness, the other person that was supposedly at the party, that she was actually threatened because she wouldn't back up Blasey Ford's story.
Yep.
And Molly just ripped those girls apart, and I think they sold fewer books than Acosta did.
Well, all I have to say about not even that, what I'm going to say is a little bit of pat on my own back, is because Stacey retweeted me and because Mo told people that she loved me, Molly and Bethany Mandel and someone else that's the blue check, whatever, all followed me in the same 3 minutes. And I was like,
oh, you're lucky.
Oh, Selena Zito.
Oh, I love Selena.
I love Selena. Selena's awesome.
Because Stacey said something to me and I was like, oh, look at this. She's spot on, whatever. And Selena followed me, Molly followed me, and then Bethany followed me. And I was like,
so Stacey is the Twitter kingmaker.
I know.
I got Cheryl Atkinson towards the end of the year, so I was like,
oh, she's the best.
So one of my misfits, Raymond, and he's the anomaly of what anyone wants to think of, what the Democrats want to think. He is a gay, black, mostly conservative. He's kind of he's a little bit more moderate, but he has good thinks and takes on everything, and he's so thoughtful in what he says and how he responds, and he's one of my misfits. He has had an ongoing kind of Twitter relationship with Cheryl, even when he had 200 followers.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, and she loves him. So anything that he says, she responds to, and then she retweets people that he suggests and whatever. And so it's really cool because he's I don't even know how this happened, but she likes me and we have a good rapport. And then they DM. And so he sometimes we do something and we say something with Misfits, and then she'll tell him, and then he sends it to the group, and he's like, oh, hey, Cheryl said blah, blah, blah. And it's oh, that's so cool. It's just so awesome.
That is so cool. Nobody important besides you guys follows me, so.
Hey, by the way, I got my Dana Perino, and I am set.
You are set.
I got my Dana, and I'm okay. Maybe she'll unfollow me. I keep looking. I keep thinking she's going to unfollow because I dropped that bomb.
She follows Dave, Jen. She follows Dave. She'll follow you.
But that's why she followed me, I think. Was because of me and Dave.
Yeah, she's super nice. And I actually, she's from my same hometown or same town here. And she doesn't follow me, so.
Oh, well, I'm going to shout out to that because, I think she really follows me because of Dave. There were a couple things that went on. And Dave, by the way, brings Pittis, he's one of my best friends. Bar none, he is amazing. He's
Dave's hilarious.
Funny. He's so ridiculous, but he means to be. He's not.
I know. He's purposely over the top.
Oh, yeah, no, totally. But when it comes down to it, his heart of hearts, he is the kindest, most giving and loving person. One of those that's the most I've met on Twitter. He's just, he's just the best. So anyway, shout out to Dave. Buenas Cudas. Follow him.
All right. I'm going to go one real quick and then go to the last one. Transformation of the year was Lindsey Graham. It started during the Kavanaugh hearings. He kind of figured out liberals suck.
Yeah.
And it's really revved up with this whole impeachment thing. I think it's going to stick.
Amen. Hopefully.
So that's one. And of course, the final award for the year is Master Troll Level Jedi, and that is our President Donald J. Trump.
The troll in chief.
100%.
The troll in chief.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I don't care what you tell me. I don't think it's 4D chess, but man, he can make the blue check Twitterati like lose their minds, and I just sit and laugh. All I can do is laugh anymore.
He just needs to tweet 2024, and all of a sudden you have every journalist reporting on it.
Oh, that Carpe Donktum meme where it went 2024, 2028, 2032, and they all lost their freaking minds. I was dying.
He wants to be a dictator, Stacey.
I know, he really, really does. And then he's just going to cede his seat to Don Jr.
Oh, jeez.
He truly is. It used to really bother me that he was on Twitter, and now I think, yeah, it's just so effing crazy. It may just work.
The Rocky picture. Oh my God, they lost shit.
That was funny.
The Rocky picture was the best.
And the Thanos one, where somebody on CNN was actually trying to get
Don Lemon.
Don Lemon actually wanted, what is it? Who owns them? Disney? I don't even remember, but whoever it was to file a copyright against it.
Lemon was like seriously having a meltdown about it. I was
but
like,
this is what killed me, Lou. I've seen the movies. There's 1,000 memes they could have put Nancy Pelosi on. Thanos dies. They chop off his head. I'm sorry if that was like a spoiler for it. It proves the left can't meme. There were 100 responses they could have done to that.
It's not just that they can't
meme.
They don't get memeing at all.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah, they can't do it because they don't get it.
I was just in a thread with Ordy, and this woman on the left memed this bizarre picture of Trump with the McDonald's sign. Did you guys see that?
No.
This is just really weird. Like, it's not clever. It's just effing weird. Like, the left, we kept saying the left can't meme.
No, they're so bad at it. How are they so bad at it?
I don't know, but Ordy finds
that whole thread.
It's mind-boggling.
Supporters, their meme room, and how important memes are now, and then you've never seen a Warren meme. You've never seen one.
No, it's terrible. No. They can't.
But they had this whole initiative to get Elizabeth Warren some memes.
Oh my God. I did not see that.
Seen the ones in the
feathers? Do they not know that there are Elizabeth Warren memes? Just none of them are very flattering.
None of them make it past the proctors because they're all so bad.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, those are all the awards I have.
Oh, we got through all of them?
Not out of time.
Yeah. We are out of time. I don't think Rick is on after us, so we've gone a little bit over. I didn't stop you, but yay, we got through all of them. That was a good thing.
Yeah. Yes, that was awesome.
Well, we all have so much to say, so I always I was worried that we wouldn't be able to nail them all down. We're not opinionated, not at all.
No, I have yeah, like Michael Loftus says, I have opinions.
Well, it's funny because so we're doing we're starting in the works of Misfits podcast, and it's are we going to even be able to get through an hour without getting off one topic? Because we all do we talk on Skype and FaceTime and whatever, and we just go on and on and on about one thing. I'm like, no, we'll be good because we'll figure out when to do the dropping point and whatever. And they're like, okay, Jen, we're gonna leave that to you because we're really bad at it because we haven't done it yet. And I'm like, okay, I get it, but at the same time, just like with this, I think we all find that natural place where it's okay, we've talked this enough, and now we're going to move on to the next thing. And that's just
Jen,
something that comes with like being.
Tell people about the Misfits podcast.
Well, so I'm not exactly sure when it's going to drop yet. I'm hoping in the next month we're going to start it up. And so Rick and I are now only on Tuesdays, and I'm hoping we're going to do Thursdays. But I'm going to need a little help from Rick and Lou because I'm going to learn how to produce so that I don't have to rely on them to do those shows too. Because they've already got so much on their plate and they're going crazy with everything. They work so hard for KLRN, and I am so grateful for it. But I hope to be able to shoulder a little bit of that if I can.
You can.
And,
you can do it.
Yeah, and so I think it'll be good too because it'll be our own thing, and then I can shoulder that responsibility and let Rick take that time off, and then Lou gets to do what she does. And if by chance I need them, obviously they're always there because they're freaking amazing.
They are.
But but also I wanted to shout out to all our peeps that are going to be hanging out at CPAC because officially I get to go.
Oh, yay!
Announcing it here right now. Talked with my bosses last night. They're on board. I get to go. So
Yay.
and so many of the KLRN people are going to be there, and it's going to be so much fun. We're going to do live shows, and then also just get to report back on things. And
So we're going to harass the hell out of people for interviews. Diane's going to be there, and she's
Oh,
like
yeah.
the
Oh my
best
gosh,
runner
Diana's going to get
ever.
everything. She's going to get everything.
Oh my God, Diane is the fetcher. If you find somebody you want to talk to.
Short story, really short. Diane is short. She's a tiny little lady.
Well,
and
me too. So that's why
Jody
we're gonna
is
run
one
together
of
and be
these
good.
early risers. So the last conference we were at, Jody had already gone over and was like watching people speak, and Diane and I went up to the hospitality room for coffee. We're literally in sweatpants, t-shirts, flip-flops, hair and ponytails. Coming towards us in a full suit is Rick Perry. I'm like, Diane, that's Rick Perry. She looks and he goes by. She goes, I'm going to go ask him for an interview. I'm like, you're in your pajamas.
And she was like, I don't care.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
No,
it was great.
No, I need people like that because I'm not like, I'm really good with people when I'm sitting with them, but I'm not good about asking. I'm not good about going after people, but I know people like Stacy and Diane, and they all are. So I'm going to rely on that a little bit and learn from them a little bit, and then hopefully get my courage up to be able to do a little bit of that too.
The best trick I ever learned, because these people meet so many people, is just walk up, hey, so-and-so, how you doing? And they think you know them. And they think they've met you.
Yes.
Yeah, and they really try to cover it. So I will be at CPAC this year after a year absence last year.
Well, I've never been, and I'm so excited. And
you can also find me on with Mr. Michael Loftus. Our podcast drops on iTunes on Mondays. And you can catch me and other things, I think, at the NOQ report starting again tomorrow.
Awesome.
Yay.
Great.
All right. Lou does Cyber Wars on Mondays.
Yep, we're still here Mondays at 10 with Orty and Jeff, who are both in the chat room. Thanks, guys, for listening tonight. And we have a ball. And people in the chat room have a ball.
An important job, because we just found out they're starting to drop all those fake Republican sites again.
Oh, yeah. And we talked about that on Monday night, and we'll talk about it some more. I set up a new lab just for that today.
Awesome.
Really interesting stuff. They're using JavaScript malware, which is really interesting. We'll talk about that Monday.
And maybe we can talk about it next Wednesday, too, when Diane and I are on the Red Whine. So we'll be on the couch next week, Diane and I. And we're so glad you guys joined us. Happy New Year, and we will catch you next Wednesday.
It's fantastic. Thank y'all for organizing all of this, and I'm glad we did something instead of passing on the holiday, because I think it was so much fun, and people were kind of in a drought and ready to listen to something and have a good time.
It was great.
Amen.
It was great fun. Great fun. Great to be on with you, Jen. Thanks, you guys, for listening. We will see you right back here next week with Jody and Diane on the couch. Everybody, Happy New Year.